Good morning, everyone. This is Vickie Wyand at the Brighton District Library, here to do the first of our 3 fall crafts, the leaf bowl. And I have to warn you in advance, you'll need to learn to embrace the mess because this one can get just a little bit messy with the Mod Podge. So let's get started. Back again to do our leaf bowl craft. In your packet, in your bag, you're going to get a cupful of Mod Podge. You're going to have a foam brush and a little bag of leaves. And before you get started, blow up your balloon, and then you'll need a bowl from home to set it in to keep it stable. And once you have it blown up, I tape it down so it doesn't move when I'm actually doing my leaves. And I also maybe draw a line around the balloon as to how far you'd like your bowl to be. I'll show you how it was when I actually did it on a balloon. This is how it was on the balloon. So you could maybe say, oh, I'd like it, this tall, and draw a line so then you know how far to bring your leaves down when you're actually Mod Podging them on. So if you get ready, open up your Mod Podge, and I would have, before you start, I forgot to tell you that you need to clean off. You take an alcohol wipe or just some alcohol on a paper towel and clean your balloon really good and let it dry really well before you start Mod Podging. That helps it stick better. And then the other thing you'll need, besides the a tape or a marker to mark on your balloon, at the end we'll probably be using some plastic wrap, saran wrap, whatever you want to call that you can get at the dollar store. I found that holds them on really well and lets them dry without them slipping or crinkling up. So let's get started. Basically, the biggest thing is when you do your Mod Podge, do not do a whole bunch on there. You want to just brush it on just where you're going to be putting a few leaves in the beginning. You don't do the whole thing because it will dry out before you get your leaves on there. Now when you take your leaf, I let it dry just a little bit to make it sticky. I found that if I did it too quickly or too much Mod Podge, then they slid off. I still have that problem. So if you just put this on like this, press it on, and hold it for just a bit. That's the biggest problem I had, was getting the leaves to stick. And you can do this with real leaves. I also have instructions as a Word document attached to this video, both doing the leaves I give you and instructions on using real leaves. The biggest thing about real leaves that I would do is I would take off the stems, just like they are here. There's no stems on these leaves, on these cloth leaves. And then once you have a little bit sticking, then just Mod Podge over it. The first couple are the hardest. Once you get a bunch going, it's a lot easier. But it is messy. And you can put the leaves, there's 5 different colors of leaves, and I think I gave you 8 of each leaf to play with. So try different colors. You can have them all one color or mix them all up like I did on mine. You can make them different angles. And they'll curl up a little bit. As long as they're not sliding off, you're okay, because we're going to be using the saran wrap to hold them on. Grab a different color. Sometimes I blow in it so that to get it just a little bit stickier. And I overlap quite a bit because sometimes they will slide, so it doesn't matter even if there's a little hole in your bowl. It'll be fine. My mistake, I think, doing a couple of them at the first was too much Mod Podge. So be careful you don't saturate it. It's very hard to get dry. Actually, what I actually did was set it on one of the fans we had blowing near the fan. It says in the instructions you can set it out in the hot sun for like 4 hours. It took at least overnight for mine. The first one was, it took a long time because I did use way too much Mod Podge. You can turn it. Once you have all your leaves now on, some of them will start popping up, so you might have to hold them in place a little while some of the Mod Podge gets more sticky. And then, of course, your hands will be a mess, like mine. But that's when we take a piece of paper towel and wipe off our hands and place some plastic wrap over the top. I have one piece right now. Just make sure maybe you have all of the holes are covered. I usually try and get the top first and then get around the sides with the plastic wrap. So once I see everything looks good, I lay the plastic wrap right on top. You might need more than one piece to get all sides. This will hold it down. Just one more little piece on this side. You can set it out in the sun. You can set it on a fan or just leave it overnight like this. Then once you're done, I will be back and I will show you what to do after it's all dry. See you soon. Hello everyone, we're back again. It's been overnight, so we're the next day, and I think we can take off the saran wrap, but I wanted to show you there are still some spots that you can see the white of the Mod Podge. So I would not pop the balloon yet, but I think we are okay to go to take the saran wrap off. I think it's pressured enough where none of the leaves will probably curl up again. But I wanted to remind you, take it off very gently, especially around the bottom where the leaves are kind of pointed. Sometimes they'll stick and you'll have to pull the leaf away from the saran wrap a little bit to get it to come off. Just be very gentle and go all the way around, making sure that the leaves at the bottom with the points don't pull up with the saran wrap. It's basically just a little bit tedious just to keep pulling and pulling all the way around. Sometimes you just have to hold it and pull it from the leaf, separate it from the actual leaf part. Sometimes you push it from the other side and it'll pop right out. Just gently. Peel off the plastic wrap all the way around, especially when you get to the still wet parts, like right here. It's just, they're still not quite dry. So I'm peeling very gently around the still sticky parts. Just keep peeling. See, there's still some, I'll show you right here, that it's still wet. So we do not want to pop it while it's still wet, but I think we're okay to lift off the plastic wrap. Just got to be very gentle pulling it off because this is still a little wet. There you go, and you can press down any that might be got pulled up as you were taking off the saran wrap. And now I'm going to leave it probably another day or two to make sure all of this white dries well, and then I'll come back and we'll pop the balloon. We'll show you how to do it. See you soon. So now we have our leaf bowl is all dry. You don't see any of the white Mod Podge. So then we're good to try and get it off of the bowl. So I have to take off the little pieces of tape we used to anchor it to the bowl so it wouldn't move while we were Mod Podging. Take all 3 of those off. And we can set the bowl aside. So here you have your balloon with your leaf bowl. So what I usually do is I take a pair of scissors and I hold it right where we blew it up at, the little knot, and I just make a little tiny clip. Cut off that little pot right there and it just pops out. There's your leaf bowl. All set. And then we have some little Mod Podge remnants here. So I have a little tiny pair of scissors, sort of like embroidery scissors, and you just clip all those pieces off that are hanging over. I get as close to the leaf as I can. Clip all the excess Mod Podge. Sometimes you can just pull it right off, like that. There you go, just pull it off all the way around the edges. Anything you see hanging, and if it's really close and I just clip it a little bit like this. Pull it off. And then you can press it down. And sometimes you can, even if you don't feel it's stable enough, you can Mod Podge a little on the inside and let it dry that way as well. But there's your leaf bowl, ready for you to put some pine cones, some pretty flowers. You can use it for candies. There you go, all done. Enjoy. And then I also wanted to show you, for next month, we are doing iris folding, and they sort of look like this. And that comes out on October 21st. We'll be doing the video for that as well.